think we're good. Some thumbs up. Kelly.
Hey.
Not So Tender podcast number 34, or as you would call it, Dirty 4.
34.
We took a little break over the Easter weekend. He had risen, and we had not. And that's not a sexual joke, people. It's about Jesus.
I saw something the other day that said that Jesus is the ultimate gaslighter,
What does that mean?
saying that he died for all of us, but he didn't even stay dead. I laughed
Holy
way
shit.
too hard for being relatively religious. It was really funny to me.
Gaslighter.
Ultimate sacrifice, but only for 3 days.
That's it. You good?
Now I'm back.
I'm back.
What have you been doing?
Jesus back. How's your week, Kelly?
It's been rough.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I've had a couple intakes that I enjoy, but they're messy, they're complicated.
Yeah.
And then I have a few couples that have been on my caseload for, like approaching a year.
A little too
if
long.
Not, yeah. Well, and
Like break up or fix
not-
it, people.
It's okay. It is okay. And that's what I had to tell them. I'm like, it is okay that you are still in therapy. There is no expiration date or like, if it's not fixed by then, it's okay. But some of the issues we're still talking about a year in.
We need some movement.
We need some movement. So I have had to schedule this actually next week. I have a couple breakouts coming that I've scheduled. They're like, I'm going to meet with her.
Yeah.
I'm going to meet with him and like reevaluate, maybe update the treatment plan, try to make some sort of headway. Because at some point,
Terminate some people.
yeah, well, you gotta
Like kill
change
your mate.
things. We're looking for behavioral change.
Yeah. You can't get just putting a
And
lid
when
on the jar.
Yeah, when I ask them and I'm like, can we identify some things that have changed positively? And they're like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well then that's you guys' problem. Like,
No.
no, he's the exact same person. I was like, as a year ago? Because I feel like A, that's not true.
Yeah.
And B, if you still feel the same way, what are we doing?
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
can imagine.
They get frustrated because I say things and they're like, you've said that 3 times. And I'm like, yeah.
I'm going to keep saying it. Your gaslight's
And
going to keep
here we
going
are.
off until you put
Right.
gas in your fucking car.
And yet here we are still talking. So yeah, it's been a little rough.
I've had a busy week.
Yeah?
Really busy. Yeah. I had 2 clients back to back who lost their moms, got memorial tattoos for their moms. That was a weird, like one left and the other one said, I was like, what the fuck was that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
Lots of grief.
Yeah.
Grief is tough.
Grief is real. Most people don't talk about it enough and throughout their life that when it comes, they don't know what to do with it. It's like a tsunami. It'd be like a tsunami in Cleveland. We don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it happens. We're like, what the fuck was that? So it's like, I think we just avoid a lot of stuff as humans. We really, really make big deals out of a lot of things and don't deal with real things. I feel like,
That's fair.
you know?
Yeah.
I think people are so consumed.
Everybody's struggle is they have a different threshold.
People invent a lot of their struggle.
That's fair.
There is real struggle.
There is. But I think there's a couple categories of people that come to mind clinically with grief of like people who are blessed in the fact that they're like, I lost my great grandparents.
Yeah, were they that great?
Yeah. What like at my
Did they ever
great
find them?
uncle, like they didn't stop it. They've never had somebody close.
Yeah.
And then there's the people who have like just now experienced their first like great loss. And then there's the people that like, oh, somebody else died. Of course they did. And like, let me pull out my funeral dress
Yeah.
so I can go through the stages. And on my caseload, I have people in all of those different categories
I
where they're
bet.
like
Yeah, I know it's coming for me.
terrified.
You know, I know it's coming.
Yeah.
Because all my friends are a little bit older than me, and they've all lost their parents and never found them, and so I know it's coming.
Mhm.
You know, and it sucks. My buddy just lost his mom. He lost his dad last year, so it's like been real close. And I was like, "Fuck, man,"
Yeah.
you know. So
My-
it sucks.
16-year-old just had like a little bit of a shift. So he's 16 and he's a sophomore. He's dating somebody now, but his ex-girlfriend that he still like goes to youth group with and stuff. they went on a retreat in February for church. And during that retreat, they found out that her dad had cancer. And then he died in like March. Like
Close.
Stage 4, like
Yeah.
pancreatic cancer or something like that. And so
Jeez.
he had like 5 weeks and then he died. So my son's like, you could die. I'm like, okay, well, yes. And
Yeah, I
also
could die.
like,
This is real.
right. Like, yes,
real.
I will die at some point.
Could be soon. Could be.
I could be in my 90s and lucky.
Yeah.
I could be in my 70s and blessed. I could be in my 50s and,
Miserable.
but like, yes, there are things that happen and it's very, but he very much, that was his first
It's real.
funeral that he went to that like resonated, that he was old enough to remember and like realize what was going. He was a mess. He was a
Yeah.
mess.
And what's funny is he's a faith-based young man.
Yeah.
So if you really walk that, then maybe you should delve into that a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, on that note, talking about Jesus, today's topic.
So today's topic, we're going to talk about cheating.
Yeah, that's why we talked about Jesus.
Jesus and cheating.
Well, his mom. She was married and had a baby by someone else. I mean, it's cheating. 100%.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my. Okay. All right. So
Yeah, Joseph's like,
yes.
what? It's our wedding night. What do you mean? What? Pregnant? By who? Is that the guy up on the east side?
God.
The guy on the east side? Jihad? No. God. Could you imagine them on Maury Povich?
No.
Josephus
I just
is like
watched,
this. Look, he doesn't look like me. Every time I try to give him a bath, he stands on water. I can't even put him in there. Every time I give him a bottle, it just turns to wine. Mary, Joseph is not the father. The light opens up. It's just light. She goes in the back crying.
I was scrolling through Mari shorts on TikTok the other day, and Andrew came in. He was like, "What are you watching?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "I grew up on
Oh, yeah.
MTV and Maury Povich on, remember, like
Road
the back
rules.
button where you had to like on the remote where you pushed it and it just went to the most recent
Yeah.
because I wasn't allowed to watch Jerry Springer or
Oof.
Maury.
Back.
But I was watching them and they were like, "You are not the father." And I was literally looking at my phone. It was like, here's where she walks off stage. No, it had
And the
to
guy's
be
like, I
him.
told
Right?
you. I told you. And he's all dancing. That's what Joseph's going to do. I told you.
So we are going to talk about cheating today.
Not Jesus.
Not Jesus. I'm sure you'll bring him up.
We already did enough Jesus talk for the day.
It's
We're
not your
full
forte.
on Jesus. Oh, no, I could talk about Jesus all day. I don't think anyone here would enjoy it.
No. But
Hell of
cheating
a
and
landscaper.
infidelity has been coming up a lot on my caseload.
What?
Yeah. And it's not even necessarily new information. They're just talking about it for the first time and trying to like
Yeah.
get
So
to
are we doing a
new
how-to?
ground. No, we could.
I mean, probably.
We could, Thomas, we could.
Yes. We could do a how-to.
We could do a how-to.
We've heard enough stories.
It would not
We've
be
seen enough
our
stories.
best.
We've made enough stories.
It would not be the most helpful.
It might be.
Maybe if it should, we could do like a
Trying to not get caught.
try to catch your partner. Here's the things that we know people do.
Yeah.
We could spin it to
Oh.
be helpful,
Well, you just can't be dumb.
but they are.
Yeah.
But they are. We're going to bring that up today.
I think some people want to get caught. So here's what's funny. I'm going to say something. I was
Mhm.
working today. I worked all day. And my last
Gross.
client, her and her dude, we were literally talking about this. And then I look at my phone and Kelly's like, let's talk about this today. I was like, of course. All right. First, what kinds
So-
of cheatings are there?
Yes, we have to break down cheating in 2024
Break it down.
because
Different.
it evolves. It is very different
Yeah.
than what it used to be. So first is emotional cheating, which I know gets you.
No, I
gets
understand it way more now.
You do.
100%.
Your panties used to get in a big bunch.
Well, because
over
it was
this.
never explained to me. It was just told to me. It's like telling somebody you're going to be in the Ku Klux Klan, but you don't really have a good reason for it.
Mm.
But you got to just do it. You have to make me, like, help me, not make me.
Walk
help
you
me
through it,
understand
yeah.
it, because if you're just like, it's just wrong. It's like, well, that okay.
I
How-
hear that you think it's wrong, but tell me how.
It just explain it in a way. Like, I understand it more now than ever.
So, do you have any clients that or stories that you can think of where somebody emotionally cheated and you
Oh,
understood why
listen.
they were upset?
Unfortunately, most people that claim for emotional cheating and they're emotionally cheating, like it's more of a property. It's more of a, I emotional cheating, I do understand it more now why it bothers people the way it does.
Mm-hmm.
But in the same breath, I think a lot of people struggle just being secure in their own skin, and then they project that out on someone else to always make them feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And that gets very hairy very quickly. But emotional cheating, it's a very broad thing.
It is. It's probably if we're gonna go over 4. This is number 1,
All
like
day.
ways of cheating. It's probably the most argumentative. Like you can argue, no, I wasn't. Yes, you were.
Well,
and kind of go back and forth.
We've all heard people say, I think emotional cheating is worse. I can forgive you for physically being with someone. I can't.
Oh, I hear
cannot.
it all the time.
Okay, and I know where that comes from, and I will die on that hill because you can control where someone's at physically, and you can keep tabs on them. You can track their phone and know where they're at. It makes people mental that you don't know what's going through your mate's head, which is so unhealthy and so gross. And why would it even concern you? Because not to be a dick, how do you know what's going through someone's head? You stood at an altar and got married.
Yes.
Okay. I guarantee that if he knew what was running through your head at certain moments, he would fucking jump off a cliff.
He would wince.
And vice versa.
Sure.
Okay. So this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You never extend the same grace to somebody you want extended to you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the person that's freaking out about the emotional, like what you're thinking and how well, what are you thinking?
Well, so there's a spectrum here, right? There's these other couple, I feel like it's pretty black and white, but there's a spectrum for emotional cheating. So I have had couples come to me and they were like, she talks too much to this guy. She says he's her bestie, but like there's a line there where it's like arguable, right?
Suspect.
I have people on the other side of the spectrum who have come to me and it's like, he talks to her until 3:00 in the morning and says, I love you, good night, before he hangs up the phone. I know.
This man will go missing soon.
They have kind of fallen off the rails. But
there is no... Listen. What?
I love you. You're beautiful. Because of the circumstances, because here's what I know that you're going to say, because physical cheating is not an aspect. He has not slept with her. He hasn't, like, due to the circuit, you'll just have to trust me. Like, I believe that that's true.
That's fine.
But he is on the way other end of the spectrum, talks to her all day, every day. When he gets off work, she's who he calls, goes through his day, listens to her struggles. They're helping each other through their like turmoil. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Good. They work together.
How does his mate feel about this?
She struggles, but she was one of the more, I hate to use the word mature because I feel like the opposite of that is immature.
No, that's how about a more...
She's more understanding.
Healthy.
She's more understanding and open-minded to trying to understand what needs this woman was meeting for him that like maybe she's not meeting, because he's a whole human and he has gone outside for something.
100%.
So she even said, I am trying really hard to not be frustrated with her. She owes me nothing. No. You do. And I can share you with her if we can put more boundaries around that. Like telling her you love her on a daily basis, icky. Staying up, I go to bed and you stay up to talk to her for 3 hours, icky. I don't want you, like, do you see her? Do you guys go to lunch? Like, I feel like lunch might be off the table for right now. Like, she was really trying to give some grace.
Super healthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
If she's your best friend, we need to pull the reins back and make sure that she's your best friend and not like
your best
this
friend.
other. Yeah.
Yeah.
So emotional cheating is probably the one that's like a spectrum.
Yeah.
and different people's boundaries kind of fall along there a little differently.
So the couple I was talking to today, we were talking about it, about cheating and all this stuff. And I said, you know, I go, even just people, if they think your person's thinking about someone else,
Mm-hmm.
it makes them crazy. It makes them lose their fucking mind, right? But here's what's funny. If I told you I thought about killing somebody today, your mate would be like, oh, who was it? So you can literally think about murdering another human and you would fucking co-sign the shit out of that. But I was like, man, if I thought about, man, it'd be crazy to have sex with her, the girl would lose her fucking mind. Does that make any fucking sense in the realm of the world?
No. And so Andrew and I had that talk actually
About murder?
about where our brains go.
Yeah.
He was genuinely asking, like, what parameters do you have in your brain? And what we both identify as like a healthy adult relationship.
Yeah.
It's his first.
Real one.
It's my healthiest one. And so I shared, I was like, my mind wanders. It's rare for me. I just feel like
Right.
there's such a sliver of a portion of my brain that's even open to that or free for that.
Yeah.
But I was like, if some sort of promiscuous thoughts goes through my head,
Promiscuous thoughts.
it's a thing.
Yeah.
It's an intrusive thought. I will not judge myself for having it, but I also will not feed it.
Fair.
It doesn't benefit. It does not go well if I allow that thought to live in my head.
No.
So I was like, that's
You know how to grow a garden.
right. I was like, I don't judge myself for it, but I don't feed it. And he was like, same. He was like, so your brain works similar. I was like, I've never been in your fucking brain. I have no idea. That could happen to you every hour on the hour. That could happen to me once a
It could
week.
happen 7 times while we were sitting here.
Right. I'm like, but I don't feed it because I have experience feeding that thought. It
Yeah.
does not work well for my relationship.
Weird.
And
Yeah.
he was like, oh, so that's, I guess there is a lot of grace to be given, but there's also boundaries that I have put in place because I am in a relationship that is
Well-
not open. It is closed.
And that's what it comes down to. I think people are just so obsessed with controlling the situation that they literally squeeze somebody right out of their fucking hands.
That's true.
Next.
Sexting.
Oh, super inappropriate.
So sexting. So what differentiates this between some of the other ones is sexting generally implies that you know the person,
Fuck, I hope so.
right? Well, the
You
next
just
one,
like texting random numbers like, let me see your titties.
the next one is like online or virtual cheating, which kind
Similar.
of generally goes with like people that you have not met or that you don't know. So sexting is usually
Yeah.
somebody that you know,
You're in contact with.
so that it could be different. It could be. Some of these could overlap. Maybe there's no emotional connection, but you are engaging through text over sexual content.
I just heard a story about somebody that is married, got a couple kids, kind of got isolated, had a career, had some kids, stuck at home. She's expressed herself. And she met some guy on some fucking, I didn't know this was a thing, but like playing some game online, like word game or some shit.
Yep.
And you start chatting somebody up.
Yep.
And it's become like a sub-dom kind of thing behind her husband's back. And I heard about that and I was like, oh, that could get real. I go, but, you know, she's yearning for something, you know, and it's weird because it's like, when I think about stuff like that, I think some people have those relationships because it's something that's just theirs. And it's not involved where they have to guard it, nurture it, or anything. They could kill it at any given moment. And there's power in that.
Yeah.
I told a girl today and her dude, I said, having a side piece is like going on vacation. You don't care that the bed's that nice. You don't care that the yard's not that great. You're only there for a little bit and you don't give a fuck.
That's so true.
Is that?
It is. And I think that I think I hear more about it from women, but I don't necessarily think that it's different from men, where women are like, she's not even that cute. Or
She's
like,
nice.
she doesn't even like.
She's fucking nice. I'll tell girls because I've heard
Nice
girls say that
and
all the
willing.
Because they'll meet me in my shop and they'll be like, look, she's not even, I go, she's nice.
Mhm.
She's fucking nice. You're not nice. Not you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if you're not nice, every day you're not nice.
Nice and willing make the perfect side piece.
Dude.
Most wives are bitter and they don't put out.
How many strippers just sit and talk to dudes because they want somebody that's nice to them?
Yeah.
I mean, literally sit
Yeah.
and talk to them. And it's just nice.
Mm-hmm. So sexting, though, usually turns into like a narrative, right?
Yeah.
Talking somebody through it, sharing explicit images.
Yeah.
This comes up a lot.
That's cheating.
You were sending pictures and they're like, but I didn't touch her.
It's cheating. It's cheating. It's inappropriate as fuck.
Right.
Unless
Right.
you're okay with that in your relationship.
Nope.
If you're not okay with that, that is not fucking okay.
No, I have somebody on my caseload right now that her partner sent a video of them. My client and her partner.
I feel like a lot of Kelly's clients might end up missing from their mates.
That's not true. They're all seeing me, so they're fine. But that was additional betrayal. That's another layer.
That
of
is
like, it's not
bonkers.
even just you. You sent a picture of us, a video of us.
Justin just came across our headphones and said that could be illegal in some states. And I imagine it would be because you're sharing
Yes.
information,
Right.
you know, footage of stuff that you didn't sign off on.
Pornography.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably shouldn't be doing that shit.
You should not.
A lot of people are, though, because I think a lot of people just want to covet something. They want to have something that's just theirs and it's theirs. Because, dude, when you're in a relationship, a lot of people feel like you got to share everything. But really, that person isn't. The person who demands it, they don't share everything. Give me a fucking break. You can't share everything.
No.
Okay, you can't share your, you know, and I think it's a control thing. It is a fucking control thing. But if you're sexting somebody, like, dude, come on. Would you be okay with your mate was doing that?
Well, no, I guess that's the thing. Like,
Maybe you would be.
You or I both are. We have boundaries that I feel like some people could perceive as controlling.
Ish.
But like, if your girl was sending tit pics to people,
No.
right? Like
No.
it pushes a button where you're like, okay, so
No.
like we're gonna have to have a real blunt conversation,
I barely want to text people back about fucking tattoos anymore.
right?
I'm so put off by it now and kind of scarred by it that literally to get longer than a 2-word conversation from me, if you're not my person,
Right.
good luck.
Right. So you find out that she's sending intimate photos of herself. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, to put it mildly.
Well, I would say this: you'd hit a fork in the road.
Right. Are
Like,
you gonna-
that's how we're getting down now.
Yeah. Right. What are
Cool.
we gonna do?
Cool.
What are we gonna do?
That's where we're at now.
So many people.
I
So
guess we're buying some pineapples.
the only clients who come to me when they're in this fork in the road are the people who are trying to decide how to work it out
Or kill it.
or kill it.
All
So
right, next.
online or virtual.
Yeah.
So this usually comes up. So like emotional, obviously, you know this person. You're probably seeing this person on a
Yeah.
regular basis. Sexting is somebody who you know where you have detached emotion, but somehow it got freaky along the way.
It don't take much.
It doesn't. There's usually one text. If we go back through, there's one text that like opened the
Shift it.
can and then
shifts it immediately.
gone. Online or virtual. So this is more like what you just mentioned. Like they meet through a game.
We start chatting.
Usually
TikTok.
a game. Yeah. Or they're on dating sites and they're never intending to meet anybody.
They just want to be entertained.
They
They're
just
bored.
want the attention.
They're bored.
Right. So online or virtual is usually talking, not meeting. Once you meet, then it obviously goes into a different category.
But what's funny is people just get just as mad.
Yes. Well, that's what there's types of cheating. They're all under the category of cheating. Anybody could have just as like an equally strong emotion
Yeah.
or reaction to any one of these. If you're so obviously not a huge fan of your girlfriend sending tit pics.
Yeah.
If you found out that she was in an online relationship with somebody for the last 6 months,
Yeah. Why isn't he buying her dinner?
right? Is he Venmoing you?
You fucker, you feed her. That's
He's
the
not
rule.
fucking her.
You fuck her emotionally. You feed her emotionally. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be okay with that. I definitely wouldn't be okay with that unless that was predetermined. Like if it was just loosey goosey, then who cares?
Yeah.
But if it's not loosey goosey and like you have some like, but here's the other thing too. So what I talked about with that couple today, because I asked questions, you know me,
I know.
and I said, how does it honestly affect the other person? Like truly take your ego out of it, take your control out of it,
Mhm.
your possessiveness about it. How does it honestly affect you? If
Some-
you read a book that was super dirty, right?
Oh yeah,
And
that's a
lit-
thing. Some
okay.
people struggle with that too.
And you're just watching, and you're like, you're in it. You're in it. Does that affect? If I was your mate, would that affect me?
No, you would never know.
So what would be the difference?
Well,
This is devil's advocate.
No, I know that comes up sometimes.
I bet it does.
Where I have people who, like we've talked about multiple times, who watch porn consistently.
Yeah.
But they only watch porn when you're at work.
Yeah.
That affects you
Not saying that
zero.
your parents fucking keys
Right.
their dinner.
Right. These
I'll be done in a
people,
minute, Phil.
They're, if they have an online relationship and they only get on their video games, so where usually the most people get offended is when they're in role playing games and therefore in a relationship in their video game.
It goes that deep.
Yeah. And it's like, well, this is my online partner. But they're like, okay, that sounds lame, but also.
You should just break up with them because they're a fucking nerd.
But like, usually if
Just
you're
kidding.
if
We
you're in
need
a
nerds.
relationship with that person, they understand what you're saying and that means something. It's a whole thing, Thomas. So
Jesus. Like my
sometimes-
life wasn't complicated enough.
sometimes it
now
doesn't
you're
affect them
fucking
at
around
all.
on me with an elf.
I know. It's true.
Get the fuck out of here.
The last one is physical, and this is the one that is probably the most black and white, except for the bases. The bases always come in.
You mean like under the shirt, over the shirt?
Yeah. All I did was I was drunk and I made out.
Oh.
I didn't fuck her.
Yeah.
Until like that girl is on my caseload and she got sent a Snapchat of you making out with Ashley. You know what? Because they're all Ashley.
They kind of are.
No,
It's
like,
fucking true.
Ashley, Brittany, Jessica. They're all different.
What do you,
I'm just.
get out of my head.
It's true. It's just the typical name. There's anyway. So she sees a Snapchat story of you kissing her, and now it is an issue. Not only because you kissed her, but because you kissed her in front of God and everybody.
You've lost your fucking mind.
And now I have to hear about it, and I have people blowing up my phone saying he was making out with blah, blah, blah. But what they come to session and say is, I just kissed her. You are losing your shit over tongue on tongue. And she's like, you might as well have fucked her. Because of the fight that we're about to have, you should have got yours.
I don't know. Too many people are going to fucking backstep out of that one. I mean, that's bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be a brazen fucking idiot to fucking think that you're going to backtrack.
They do.
on that.
They do.
Yeah, they backtrack because she don't want to move, because she don't want to give up half her shit, because she don't want to fucking admit to everybody that she wasn't good enough in her head. Not that she wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like this whole thing.
Well, it's kind of what you say all the time of like, was this a one-off or was
Yeah.
it like a thing?
Or be
So if
discreet.
they're coming
How
to
about
you
be
and they're
discreet?
like,
If you're watching porn, don't do it at the fucking airport for everybody to see you, motherfucker.
or at the kitchen table,
Or at your kid's counseling meeting.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
You know,
maybe not at 5 p.m. when you have to take a shower during dinner.
right in the middle, like you get up.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
be discreet.
correct.
It's one thing to live your life. It's another thing to like rub it in somebody's fucking face. And I guarantee alcohol is involved.
Oh, almost 10 times out of 10.
Yeah. So there you go. Your inhibitions go to the fucking
Right.
floor.
So physical, I wouldn't even necessarily call it a spectrum. There's just a lot of layers. So sometimes it is the spectrum of like, she kissed me, I kissed her back, she touched me, I touched her, but like, to I accidentally had sex with her
I tripped and fell and hit her fucking
over
uterus.
and over and over. Like,
I hit her
sorry.
cervix drunk.
Or we hooked up one time versus we hooked up 5 times versus we've been hooking up for 3 months. Like there is a little bit of a spectrum there. Additional layers come in though, and you're gonna with like
I can't wait for this shit.
with prostitutes.
Oh, does that count?
That comes up so often.
Isn't that business?
So often on my caseload? Like 3 or 4 of my current clients have
Had prostitutes?
mentioned like prostitution coming up
Can
in
I
their
ask you
marriage.
a question?
Yeah.
Was their mate having sex with them?
No.
Oh, sorry, ladies or gentlemen.
Mhm.
I'm gonna assume it's
Yes.
guys with girls.
Yeah.
Okay. I might sound like a fucking asshole.
It gets hairy.
No, it doesn't. No, it don't. Mind your fucking business. Because if you ain't having sex with him for over a year, I'm gonna give it a
You
year.
give it a year.
Yeah. If you went through,
Andrew told me I have about a month and a half before he's asking what's happening.
Okay, fair.
Like, what
I'm saying
are we
is,
doing?
say something traumatic happens. I'll give you a year to work through it, get some help, whatever. I'll give you a year.
Sure.
If you didn't have sex with me for a year, I'd be totally okay with it if you were seeking out help or just working on it.
Okay.
But after a year...
So heaven forbid she was like assaulted.
No, might be even longer.
Like,
okay.
right, like
but even
something.
Then, how about just be discreet about it, bud?
Yeah.
How about fucking...
Well, every time, it comes out on their finances. Boys,
stop it, dummies.
Finances.
Cash. I don't like carrying cash. Okay, then I guess you don't like not getting caught having sex with a hooker by your wife, dummy, because every prostitute probably takes cash.
10 times out of 10, it's finances. And the wives, usually, they have difficulty because they're like, the husbands, their argument is, I'm paying for it. It's transactional. I don't have feelings for her. I don't like...
Listen, can you tell these guys that they need to counsel with me before they open their mouth? I need to walk them through what they need to say.
So just so we're clear, these are usually things that they say to me one-on-one. They're not things that they're saying like in couples counseling. It's to me.
Kelly's going to come in one day and be like, I literally saw murder on Zoom.
Here it happened. I've seen some pretty heavy fights, borderline on abuse, where I'm like, hey, you have to quit it or we got to end. Like,
Jesus,
we got to.
I can't witness this.
I got to let you know.
I do really feel like if you're in a relationship with somebody for long enough and you're not being intimate with them, that part of their life does not concern you anymore. Because if it did concern you, you would help facilitate that. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how can you have it any other way?
No, I don't disagree. I've told you. I've told everybody.
That's real shit, right?
You and the podcast people.
That's real shit.
People have said, Miss Kelly said, we have to have sex. That's our homework. And I'm like, that's not entirely what I said.
Yeah.
I am running into more and more currently. I think it's like seasonally where men are like, I checked all of these boxes and you're still not putting out. So now what?
Because it's really not those things.
And the women are like, I hear you, but also that feels transactional to them of like, just because you cleaned out the garage and you emptied the dishwasher and you
know
did
what's
like
funny? Before you get married, before you get all this resentment, you'll literally fuck anybody who's fucking like showing you fucking attention. You don't care about their credit score.
So
you don't
true.
care about their fucking bedroom being a filthy mess or their car being shitty or if they even have a fucking car. Mm-hmm. But you're with a man that you're in therapy with. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming you got enough money to pay for therapy. You got enough money. You don't want to break up your shit. And you still, what is it?
Power.
Fuck that.
It is, because I have had conversation most of the time, forgive me, but like most of the time, what it boils down to is you've hurt me in ways that we haven't discussed yet.
Well, he's going to hurt you in new ways.
I know.
So good luck. Good luck with the power you don't know how to wield. I'll tell you what, you know what's a better power? When your wife's being super intimate with you and super sweet to you and you're doing that same thing to her, that's power that you will do nothing to break that. That's real power.
Yeah. I have people on my caseload that are like, we should bottle our shit because once a week, that's not a lot. That's actually below the national average, but like once a week keeps them
solid. Most people would kill for once a week.
Right.
They kill for once a month.
You take care of me. I take care of you. We are better connected and we can take on the world. All of that other shit the last 7 days doesn't necessarily matter. No. Because I still love you and we still have this type of connection.
Because it's real.
It's real. It's the most raw, intimate thing that you can do. And most people,
have
most
you ever
of
played
those
guitar?
Women.
Pretty good.
But most of those women.
Reverb. Pretty good. Fuck Pornhub.
Are you attracted to your husband?
No, I'm not married to a dude.
No. I said, while you were talking about guitars, I said, I asked most women, are you attracted to your husband?
And they say no.
No, most of them say yes.
And what the fuck's the problem?
It becomes like this block. Most of the time, if I meet with them, if I do a break off and I meet with them, they're like, I feel like all they want me for is sex. I'm like, how do you even, they are raising 3 fucking kids. They have done dishes 3 days this week. That's not every day. But they're there. They don't, if they wanted sex, they would be fucking a hooker. They want you.
Dude,
you
guys
are blessed
ready?
by the fact that you have not had sex in 6 months and they haven't stepped out yet.
Or killed you.
And I'm not co-signing cheaters. I'm just saying, like,
don't be surprised.
My God, some of these men.
Dude, there's guys that are getting sex all the time from their wife and still getting hookers.
I know, right.
And there's girls who are fucking their husbands all the time and fucking the pool guy.
Right.
So, I mean, like, it's case by case.
Right. But I do have men and women that I believe lying to me serves them no benefit.
Yeah. In their heart, it does. Judgment.
But
I know, but people said,
sure.
Dude, people have been really honest with me. But I mean, truthfully, if you're not having sex with your partner for over a year or 2 years, fuck off. You can stay married.
Need like
you can
3
stay
reasons.
married.
Yeah.
You can live your life and be buddies and love each other because you do love each other.
You better buy me a subscription to some good porn.
Right, but mind your business.
Like, right.
You know
I'm
what I
coming
mean?
home every day.
Right.
Be happy about that.
Mind your business.
Okay. So now that we have emotional, sexting, virtual or online,
sex,
physical.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about why people cheat. And I've heard every single one of these. I went back through my caseload in my head. I did a little bit of research online. This is not the entirety of the list.
Right.
But some pretty good ones.
Not bad.
Not bad. So number 1, lack of commitment or too much commitment, because those kind of go hand in hand, right? Too much commitment being she wants to settle down.
Or
she wants to. Right. Yeah. He wants to get married. And I'm like freaking out about it.
I gotta fuck it up. Self-sabotage.
Right. And that's later.
Oh,
Self-sabotage is later.
All
this
right.
is strictly just commitment.
I go right for that because that's my jam.
I know. So lack of commitment. Like, for example, I have somebody on my caseload right now. She's looking for a spouse, for a partner, and she's transparent. Like, the guy that she's seeing is very much seemingly on the same page.
Right.
But if he were to start sandbagging her, right, and being like, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is too soon. That would be a reason for cheating. I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
I want something serious. And if he's not about it, right. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't sell trucks here and I'm looking for a truck. I'm going to find where the
You don't have to fuck the guy at the bar, though, just so we're clear. End it. That's going to be the pretty consistent that, like, guys, have a
we still like getting
conversation.
Dinner.
I know. So
we still like getting those good morning texts.
Or too much commitment, too much control, too much, they're suffocating. That's a doozy.
It could be lingering exes, previous. That's the overlap. People don't take into consideration the overlap.
I fucking hated
the overlap. Is real. Nobody talks about the overlap, do they?
I did. So I didn't have overlap.
No.
I tied my loose ends because I'm not dumb.
This time.
Tie your loose ends. I had to deal with a lot of overlap after the fact that I was like, Jesus, how many?
Kelly, how many people you know?
There's
a lot. Nobody talks about the overlap, do they?
That actually came up once.
There's
this week,
real overlap.
where they went to the bar and there was like this guy and they were like, I've moved on, but I don't know that they know that I have moved on. And now I feel some type of way because if he comes up and hits on me while he's in the bathroom, like, this is going to be really awkward.
The overlap's real.
It is.
Yeah.
That's true.
Clean up your edges.
Clean your roster.
It's hard.
It's not that hard.
It's hard for most people. Most people aren't disciplined enough to put their clothes away. Not to be a dick. They're not disciplined enough to tell somebody.
Send a text.
Yeah.
Ghosting is what creates overlap.
Oh, yeah. Men. Let's do it. Overlap. That's my new band name. Overlap. I like it.
All right. Number 2 is lack of communication. Poor communication. Can't confide. Can't be trusted.
No, because your side piece you can talk to till the fucking cows come home.
I know. Well, they don't judge you because they're your side piece.
And you don't have to talk to them again if you don't want to.
Right. But lack of communication could be as vague as, like, I try to tell her about my day. She didn't care.
That happens all the time.
Right. I try to tell him what's bothering me and he just gets defensive. All the way down to, like, more explicitly, like, I'm into being a sub and you're not. Like, they feel uncomfortable saying that.
Yeah, or they judge you or
right. But you could go on an app and just type in some things and, like, here you are.
Showing up, tying you up.
Right.
Fucking you up.
Right. So lack of communication relationally as well as sexually. Sometimes people, like, I have somebody on my caseload right now. Her soon to be ex was into things that she was not.
Yeah.
in like an uncomfortable way for her. So she was like, I don't know that I can get behind that.
It's like Family Feud. It's like,
yeah, but like if you have needs and like this is not something I feel like, so communication is big.
I like that.
Number 3 is lack of sexual satisfaction, or kind of spinning off curiosity, sexual preference.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I have a couple who's like relatively vanilla until one of them is not.
A spark. Something's unleashed.
Because they're growing up.
And that
usually those people have been together since they were like 17.
So this bothers me too, is when people are like, you've changed.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what you expect. The girl today we were talking, she's like, well, I mean, if you promise somebody, I said it ready. How do you expect somebody to promise something for 25 years of life?
What else do we ask that of?
But I'm saying,
like,
I go, and if a guy didn't promise that, or a girl didn't promise that, like, hey, I'm going to be like, you wouldn't fuck with them. You wouldn't eat lunch with them. Mm-hmm. So like, how can you make promises you really can't keep? You're asking somebody, it's like, I use the example of like Amish people. They say they give them a choice to leave. They don't give them a choice. Because if you leave, you don't get to talk to your family. So you're not really giving somebody
it's an
the opportunity. Exactly. Right. And that's not fair either. How about this? If you agree to be monogamous because you don't want to get an STD, or that's what you think you need or want, you don't have a real good fucking reason for it. I've heard
what you think is normal.
I've heard very few people be able to explain it.
It's ideal, right?
Okay. Apparently not.
In their head, it's ideal. Like, this is what I'm supposed to accomplish. Right.
Then trust each other until it's time. But like, people step out on relationships constantly.
All the time.
Constantly.
All the time.
Constantly.
That's why I'm like, so the reason I wanted to talk about this is
You're thinking about doing it?
No. No.
I asked Kelly on the way over here, I was like, are we doing a how-to?
No.
No, Thomas.
No, we're not. In order to mend what has been broken, you have to have the insight and awareness as to why you stepped out.
Yeah.
That is the biggest hang up that I run into with couples. They're defensive. I don't know. Like,
well, imagine being honest about it.
It's hard, but like,
imagine
there
looking
are
at your
real
wife and
reasons.
go, hey, some guys just want to go fuck. And some girls just want to go fuck.
Yes.
So look, I'm going to put it in the same context as like being a drug addict. Any bad behavior. It's kind of the same 4 or 5 things, isn't it? Maybe 4 things. It's you want to destroy something. Mm-hmm. You don't want to feel something. Mm-hmm. You just want to do it because it's fun. Mm-hmm. There's no other connection than that. Yeah. That's like the 3. That's why people do drugs. That's why people cheat. They don't want to destroy. Like, I know so many couples I've watched do shit to get caught.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the things. Like, oof. Toxic justification is what it says here. Like, forcing a breakup.
For a fucking Janet Jackson cover band.
Like, I keep trying to push you away and you're not getting it. So if I fuck up hard enough, you'll have to leave. But then they don't.
Then you got to deal with it.
Then you're in therapy and you have to come to Counselor Kelly. Because they're like, why'd you do it? Don't leave me.
I told you.
But they sabotage. They sabotage on purpose because they don't see another out. And they're like, this is the one black and white thing I can do. That's why they start. Because they are stupid.
You should have a new rule. Like, if you want to cheat, you have to do it in the room with your spouse.
Some people, I think it would take 45 seconds. Some people, I think, would never do it because they don't. It's like they don't want to hurt their spouse, but they want away from their spouse all at the same time. Like, yeah, that's all they want.
Like serial killers, they want to get caught.
They just want to get caught.
What's the average time that somebody has sex? Like the average time?
Timeline?
No, how long?
Like how long
do people get it?
It's like 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Yeah.
How does 7 minutes freak people out so bad? I've waited for a milkshake longer in a drive-thru.
It's the intimacy. It's the fact that you're naked and I'm naked and you've probably kissed and you're touching them where they pee and they're touching you where you pee and it's too much.
Yes.
But then there's the one I'm like, yeah, but he fucked her in a bathroom at the bar. So nobody was naked and there probably wasn't very much touching.
A little bit.
She like pulled down her pants and he put it in. Like that was it. Like right. Like that was it. Like, does that make it better?
What fucking bar was that at?
Right. A lot of bars.
I play at a lot of bars. I've never. Well, I can't.
You don't talk to people. That's why.
No, I really don't.
So forcing a breakup. You're right. That's one of them. compulsive personality flaws. Like some people just can't lock it in. They're not built for it. For monogamy. They're just not. They're compulsive liars. They're compulsive cheaters.
Can I be an honest thing?
What?
Who's selling it that it's like that great of a fucking gig?
No, but they're like actual sex addicts that I have on my caseload that like they can't like.
Thing. That's totally different. That's extra. Y'all are so extra with your sex addiction.
Same concept.
But that's another level. If you're fucking with somebody like that and you don't know that, you either need to accept them for what it is.
Most people on my case, I have 3 right now who were in a relationship or currently married to a sex addict or a porn addict.
There might be 3 in that room in there. Yeah.
Is the closet full right now?
It might be.
As we speak.
Yeah.
So that's another one.
Yeah, that's
where like it, which like falls in a different bucket a little bit, but like it's
that's different.
But still.
Yeah.
Still sad. Another one is self-exploration, change in personality that you kind of hit on. Sometimes like things change. When you get together when you're 17 and now you're 37, you are not the same person.
No.
You are not into the same thing.
Or somebody just said something to you that unlocked that feeling.
That you didn't know.
Yeah. So how do you deal with that if you really love somebody?
It cycles back to communication.
You know what I mean?
Being honest and saying like...
But people say they want their mate to be honest with them, but that comes at such a price, right? It's not safe. It's not a safe space.
It does either way.
Yeah.
If Andrew came to me and was like, I had this conversation, it struck a nerve, I'm feeling...
I didn't even pull my pants down.
I'm feeling like I'm missing out, or I was interested in that, and I want to talk to you as your husband.
Then you get to make the choice.
It would be a super hard conversation, but I would much rather have that conversation than like, well, 6 months ago, so and so said that. You know, like so and so said this, and then I was nervous, and so then it just like snowballed into like.
Well, it's easier to ask for forgiveness and permission.
No, it's not with me. No, it's not. I am pretty gracious.
I'm pretty open-minded about a lot of stuff.
As long as I would rather go through it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be caught off guard. Like the betrayal part.
You know, I'll be honest with you. It really doesn't matter what I fucking want anymore. That's one thing I've realized in life. The only thing that matters what I want is what I can actually control.
That's true.
If I'm with somebody, they're going to do what the fuck they want to do, and I'll deal with it once it comes across my table. And that's how I'm living my life right now. And weirdly enough, I'm pretty fucking peaceful.
Yeah.
Because why would I? You know, my car is going to fail eventually. Right now it's dope, but I don't sit there and freak out that it's going to fucking fail. You know? And if somebody's cheating on you, then you have to, like, we talked about setting boundaries before. Boundaries aren't for the other people. It's for what you have to do once they fuck up. And normally if you're setting a boundary for someone, they're going to fucking cross it. Let's just be honest. It's very rarely somebody's like, oh my God, didn't know I was doing that. And it's perfect after that.
Well, and usually people set boundaries in therapy with me or in their own head or with their mom or with their best friend. Yeah. It's not a relational conversation of like, I got burnt here. So anything up to here, I am comfortable with, but here on, I'm not okay with. And they're like, sounds great. Could we move it this way? Or I've actually been burnt here. Could we move it up? Because that's where my boundary would be free. They don't do that.
No.
That's
it's all a joke. It's all a joke. I'm not going to lie. Most of it's a fucking joke. Everybody talks about once a ride or die. You're not ride or die. You're just die. It's all garbage. I mean, I'm a little bitter, but it's fucking garbage.
I'm so over the ride or die concept at this point that I'm like, you know what? I don't want to ride or die. I really don't.
No, I want a good time.
Yeah.
I want a peaceful, easy time. I want like a fucking Eagle song.
If I
you know
screw
what I mean?
you over, please don't ride or die anymore. Like,
but in the same breath, like there has to be some sort of grace. But if you start off with these, it's like going to a crazy strict school or going to like an artsy school. It's like, hey man, let's just fucking have a good time and make some art. And the other ones are like, your button isn't shiny enough and you're going to drop down and give me 400 fucking push-ups. Well, that's what you're doing in a relationship too.
Right. Like create some space and understand these are the people, these are the reasons that real people are cheating.
Yeah.
Lack of communication, lack of commitment, lack of spark. It's different because, and I know the spark is a trigger for you, but sometimes the intention does wear off. Yeah. That like, hey, I know we live together, but like, come on.
I heard a cute story. A couple that's been together since they were like 14. They're in their 70s. He hangs out in his garage and does stuff. Mm-hmm. She still touches up her makeup before she goes out and sees him. Mm-hmm. Okay? That story is beautiful to me. Mm-hmm. And they've had rough shit, but I'm going to tell you what.
Sure.
But that story made me go...
55 years later? Right.
They fucking walk out and she still wants to look cute for him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And like, he does, good dude shit too. But I'm saying like that kind of, some people are going to cheat no matter how good you are. And if you make it about you, why aren't you good enough? Because that's usually what they say in that couple counseling.
Why did he cheat?
Why am I not good enough? Why am I not good enough?
I'm never good. Everybody leaves.
That's why.
Right. Yeah.
That's why. Because of that right there. Mm-hmm. That's why. Mm-hmm. So stop doing that. Work on that. You're not going to stop. That's a bit harsh. But work on that. Because if you think somebody cheated because of you, sometimes it is because of you.
Sure.
But be prepared when they say, because you fucking did this.
Yeah.
And that's why I fucking
revenge.
did it.
That's another one. That's a whole nother. But like, that's a real thing.
That's a good one. I like that one.
You were talking to somebody else, so I fucked somebody else. How about that?
I like it. Yeah. My potatoes weren't quite as fluffy as I like them. Right. Sorry. You got
You're right. When you're weak, when you are hurt and yet still weak.
Yeah, you're going to do some damage.
Yeah. What's happening? Why aren't you leaving? And I'm not a huge pusher. I'll be honest. I'm not a huge person that's like, oh, they cheated. You got to leave.
Work it out. Because you're just going to get with somebody else who's going to cheat.
Right. It's
trade them in for somebody else.
There is something to be learned and something to be said about this. But I guess the cheater, this is the conversation that I have with people is like, why did you cheat? And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, that's bullshit. That is bullshit.
Be honest.
There is one of these things. And I'm not saying most victims of cheating, that's a strong word, but like, they're like, I just want to know how I can be better. And I'm like, it has nothing to do with you.
It's ego. It's ego.
You're out of the picture.
But that's ego.
I want to know.
People act like victim and ego is two different things.
Right.
There's real victims.
Sure.
And then there's the ego.
Right. You were not assaulted. He assaulted somebody else and you weren't there. That's why you're pissed. Like,
ass assaulted.
Right. But like, if it is a self-exploration moment, if you were just drawn in, I put a couple quotes here that I've heard over the last couple weeks. I felt seen for the first time. That's attention. That's clarity.
They let me do it.
I was suffocated. I couldn't leave the house. I couldn't, like, he has my location or she checks my whatever. Like, I was suffocated. I just felt free. It got boring. We have sex. This is a real thing. We have sex in this position twice a week on Tuesdays and Saturdays, almost down to like right? Like, but that's real.
Kill me.
He doesn't work on Wednesdays and he doesn't work on Sundays. So Tuesdays and Saturdays, here we are. And she's like, all right, so I make pork chops on Saturday and I have 2 glasses of wine because I have to have him on top of me for 11 and a half minutes. Like it happens. Those are the girls or the guys who are hooking up at the bar. It's fair. The spark was gone. I was lonely. Yeah. Lonely is a big thing too. They are laying next to you every single night, but they don't know you. They don't care.
No, they're not wrapped up in you.
Right. And so the girl at the bar who was like, hey.
Looking fine.
Right. What do you do for work?
Come fuck me in the bathroom. Yeah. Jesus. What are they putting in these fucking drinks, Kelly?
Genuine interest goes a long way when you are lonely. Or they just want to fuck.
Or there's a spark. We all know that when you meet somebody, sometimes there's a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And you either can act on it or not. Mm-hmm. Lord knows I've walked through most of my life not even fucking knowing it was happening.
Right.
I'm like, you like me? Really?
Sometimes there is no whatever. I had a guy on my caseload that was like, she gave me a fake name. She told me it was her fake name. She didn't give me her phone number. She said she didn't want to know my name. It was like fantasy land for this guy. And he was like, I basically could just hook up and I knew I would never hear from her again. Do you know how hard? He actually didn't do it, but he was like, do you know how hard that was? These girls are not built the same.
That's 2 different people.
Right. He's in his 40s and this was some 28-year-old and he was like, what the fuck? Yeah. And then he goes home to his bitchy, naggy wife.
Yeah. We're going to my
because of their
mother's tonight.
because of their relationship. But he was like mind blown. He's like, I should get an award for that.
Yeah, I would bring that up to your wife. Like I've
could
heard
have-
guys want to get patted on the back for not fucking someone.
Yeah, it
I
happens.
totally could have fucked him. I was like, I'm like this. No, what are you
Don't
saying?
say
Like, are you
that.
fucking stupid?
Don't
Are
say
you dumb?
It's the same thing. I hear all the time. I couldn't cheat even if I wanted to. When would I? When would I?
no,
And I'm like,
no.
Time is not a good argument, gentlemen.
Not for a guy who fucks for 3 minutes. Shut
Right.
up.
I don't have time. All I ever do is work and come home. People make time for things they want to do.
Dummies.
I know people who have had sex on their break.
Dummies.
Like, really, don't
Dummies.
say that.
You know people have had sex during work, not
Right,
even on
like,
a break.
not a strong argument.
Yeah. We don't know what Justin and Mike's doing in there. We
Who
can't see them.
knows?
No idea. Yeah. Tuck it in. Take it easy, boys.
Just have
Do you
the
think
hard
boys cheat more or
conversation.
girls?
I think girls are better at it.
Facts. Facts.
Right.
You know why? We don't care what you guys are doing. As long as you leave us the fuck
I
alone.
don't think that's entirely true.
Mhm. If you're leaving us alone,
Yeah.
if we're allowed to just do what the fuck we do as men,
Mhm.
I guarantee most men wouldn't give two fucks what you're doing unless it came to our attention.
Mm.
It would have to be so blunt to some men.
So disrespectful.
No,
And
like,
it's
why is there a dick in you? I'm trying to get in there. There's another man.
It's another dick. There's another. Get this dick out of the way.
What the fuck?
My dick won't fit when this dick
Look.
is in there.
I understand it's pretty good size, lady, but it ain't that good of a size.
There's not enough space.
Jeez, there might be. You just got to work it in, I guess. So, yeah, I think girls are equally
Just as guilty. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Just
Back
as
to
guilty.
Jesus.
I think they're a little sneakier. And men are much less likely to blow it up for you. Women, if they're the side piece, that is a gamble.
Yeah,
You have some crazy girl that's your side piece. She could
exciting.
light your shit on fire. I know.
it's exciting.
Guys are much less likely to do that. They're not
They're
about
like
the
this, 'cause
drama.
they know they'll get murdered.
Right. They are not about the drama. They don't want to
Yeah. Well, they
knuckle to knuckle in an alley somewhere.
No, they don't want to feed you and your kids. They don't want to change your oil. No, I'm being serious.
I know.
Like the side piece girls are like, I can't wait to fold his clothes.
Right.
and take
I want
care
to
of
make
his
you
kids."
dinner. They're sending pictures. Look at this chicken that I made.
Yeah. You're like,
They're like
"No,
enticing you.
no, I'm
I
bringing
have
over
great
Chipotle.
Wi-Fi at
We're
my
getting it
house.
on." Shut up.
God, we're so broken. And you guys are like, I don't want to mow your grass. She's mentioned an oil change 3 times in the last week.
No,
I am not changing your oil.
Jeez. Yeah, I'd imagine that would be a different situation for sure between
Mhm.
men and women. But women are always, because here's the thing, not to be a dick. Girls could have sex at the drop of a dime. Like we walked across to go to the little convenience store. If you asked one of those men to have sex with you, there's a good chance they would have. If I would have asked them, probably not.
If they were women.
I
Or
was
those
joking.
two boys
That was
over
part of
there.
my joke.
I was like, I mean,
But
they
you know what I'm
might-
saying? But like a man doesn't have the same opportunity. as a
Yeah,
woman,
no, that's
Right.
fair.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Like
They
male-
might have been like, really?
dude, and with as many Amazon drivers,
What?
like girls could just be at home, like being like,
Oh,
"What's
that's
up?"
fair. Right.
I ordered
got
2
7
packages,
minutes?
sir.
Right. You got 7 minutes before your next drop off. I feel
Yeah.
like we have time.
I'll get in the van, circle back.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could.
Yeah, we're boys. Not so much. It gets a little rapey.
It does get a little rapey.
All right, what's next?
That's it.
That's
it. That's it. You
All right.
hopped around. You forced me to hop around.
Sorry.
No, that's all right.
So let's just break this down. Pick a good partner.
How do you pick a good partner? How do you pick a loyal partner? Because that's what we're talking about.
So here's the thing. It's like another country. If you have a bunch of people fleeing their country to come here, and we're mad that they're coming here, maybe you should make sure their country is a safe place for them to not want to leave.
That's fair.
That's what I'm not saying. And some people, it doesn't matter how good you treat them and what you do.
No,
You could fuck
right.
them 6 ways a Sunday. You could fucking, literally do everything for them. Then you picked someone who's broken.
Yeah.
It's like picking a car and working on, but it still breaks down on you. Okay. Sometimes you got to cut your fucking losses. Very hard to do for most people.
But sometimes
most
you're
people.
so far in that
Yes.
you're like, I can't picture either way. Either way is going to be shitty.
My buddy Shane said it best. We'll finish up with this. He says, I think when you get with some motherfucker, because that's how Shane talks, I think when you get with some motherfucker, you should literally have to watch them fuck somebody else day one and just get it the fuck over with so you can just get the fuck on with your life. He's fucking right. In a weird way.
He's so insightful.
But he's fucking right.
Yeah. He's just raw. That's all.
He's like, then what do you got to worry about?
That's
it's like putting a ding in the back of your truck. You're
Right.
fucking done.
Right. You're not worrying about that first scratch or
No,
that first
you're done.
ding.
You're
right.
fucking done.
It's already done. Right.
Shane does like prostitutes.
I could see that too. It's transactional.
He does like prostitutes. But he also says he does that so they'll leave. He doesn't pay for the sex. He pays for them to leave when he's done. Truth.
Yeah.
And I
have somebody on my caseload right now that's like,
why not? That's not for me.
He's like, I don't want to.
but-
He's like, it's tiring. It's tiring. He's like, and he's like, I can pay them to come to my house. Pay them to come to my house. He's like, if we get there, like we do get there, but he's like, it doesn't take that long. They're super nice. They'll stay. Like they stay and they hang out. And he's like, and then when the time's up, like they go, but they're not judgy. They're not rude. They're not bitchy. What do they have to be bitchy about?
That's why people cheat.
Right. But he's like, they're nice to me.
Listen, I'm going to assume that most people have talked to somebody behind someone's back.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to assume.
Yes.
So
Some people like
how
check
about-
it and some
how
people
about
don't. But
the
yeah.
way you treat that person, because, why don't you try that with the person you're with?
Well, yeah. I've been in relationships before and I have guy friends that when they call me, I'm like, hey, like I'm excited to talk to them and I ask them how they're doing. And I have hung up and been like, now I have to call my husband or now I have to call. Like, I can feel the shift. And because I'm a relatively mature person, I'm like, okay, well,
Relatively.
I can give that same energy. I haven't even talked to him today. He's at work. He deserves the same peppy version of myself.
It's weird how I think nowadays too, with the amount of communication we have daily and it's nonstop, you can't get excited about talking to your mate because you've already talked to them 45 times today.
Well, yeah.
You have an iPhone, right?
Yes.
You don't have it with you right this second.
No.
I'd be curious to look if you looked at how many messages you have between you and your husband.
Oh, absurd.
Thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands.
I've never deleted them.
Do you understand what I'm saying though? So.
But no, sometimes he calls me on his way home and he's like, all right, I'm pulling you in the driveway. I'll let you go.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
I'm not as excited when he walks in the house as opposed to like if he just showed up.
Yeah. So that's the thing people don't understand too is like absence sometimes, but some people can't let people out of their sight.
Mm-mm.
And that's weird
sick.
as fuck to me.
No,
Good luck with that, people.
we can talk about that another day.
All right. Well, if you're going to cheat, be fucking smarter about it.
We should
Use
have people call
cash.
in.
If you're looking for a hooker, call 234-200-5949.
That is not why you should call.
Shane will hook you up. I will say this. It's hard to make hard decisions and it's hard to be real with people, but you have to create a safe place if you want your mate to be honest with you on both sides.
Yeah.
And most people don't feel safe.
When a lot of people don't communicate it because they're not sure what it is.
You
At
can't even
first-
communicate about where to go to dinner.
Right.
So you think he's just going to, or she or her, whoever is going to be like, you know what? I'm having these feelings towards this girl at work.
It's hard. The other day, we have a queen bed. We just bought a brand new bed.
Yeah.
The other day, Andrew was like, we need a bigger bed because you are on top of me.
You're like, why don't you go sleep on the couch?
Well, I turned around and I
boy.
was like, what? First of all, I just bought this bed for us 3 weeks ago. So that pisses me off just a little bit. Second of all, you are a cuddly person. So am I a cuddly? Like, well, how is this an issue? And he's like, it's probably just, I'm just in a bad mood. But like, that was hard for him to say to me. We might need a bigger bed because you're touching me too much when we sleep.
You should keep a short piece of cane. And when he says some shit like that, it's like,
Well, I have a body pillow that's on this side.
yeah, put it between you two.
There.
There you go.
But can you imagine?
Am I off you enough, sir?
He struggled to say you touch me too much. Can you imagine if he had to say I touched somebody else?
Is that like a struggle snuggle?
It would not go well. It would not go. It's hard. It is hard to verbalize preferences or changes.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's the lesser of two evils, everybody. I'm telling you.
So look, everybody out there, get your cheat on. It's a new springtime, spring into some cheating.
Call us about it. Text us about it. Let us know how it goes.
Let us know if you think eating is cheating.
Yes, it is.
You guys can get a hold of us on anything. Hit us up on Instagram, anything. 234-200-5949. Send us your best cheating stories. You know,
or your worst.
Yeah, send us some sexting.
Don't text us.
Yeah, why not?
I retract.
Let's get crazy.
I don't want to see.
I can't wait to see this shit unleash.
I would love to hear about it, though.
You will. Dude, you watch that website we can't talk about.
I know.
Can you talk about it yet?
No.
That was national news that he's suing the shit out of those girls.
Are we dating?
Yeah.
Are we dating the same people?
Yeah.
It's my nightly soap opera.
Jesus.
I love it.
All right. So if you're going to cheat, be smart about it. If you're not going to cheat, make sure you communicate with your person and get ahead of the problem.
Yeah, I guess it's like 50-50. Be smart about it or be ballsy. Be bracing.
Fuck
one
it.
or the other.
Dude, live your life.
Right. Either
They
hide
make
your
a casket
shit or
for
like...
one. Is that fair? They make a casket for one. Live your fucking life.
That's true.
Because as soon as you think you're fucking like, you know, all fucking wifed up, next thing you know, you're not. So good luck. Be cool. But if you want to go fuck around, you might get caught.
Right.
It's like speeding.
Be prepared.
It's like speeding. Right?
Oh, if you don't
can
get
die or
speeding,
go to
if you
jail.
don't have ticket money, that's what my stepdad used to tell me. If you don't have ticket money, don't drive like an asshole.
Yeah. So
if you have ticket money, have at it.
If you don't have relationship ticket money, or, you know, keep your dick in your pants.
Right.
Or keep your dick out of your
If you need
pants.
to split your mortgage and you need whatever, you better
Dude.
go hold it down.
Yeah, you need to know which side of your fucking bread's buttered on.
Right.
Quit being stupid.
That's legit. If you don't have ticket money.
Yeah. Be nice to everybody. And be really nice to the person you're fucking on the side. Bye.